Hey, real quick, I got asked this earlier today. That was a really good question. I know it probably gets talked about a lot, you know, especially in the frag-com space. But why do you wear fragrances? Like, why? Is it for you? Do you enjoy the hobby? Do you enjoy the art? Are you wearing them to please others? Are you wearing them because you have an agenda? It's a broad question, I know. But I was asked today, how did you get into this and why are you into this? And it was a simple answer for me, all right? Because I appreciate the connection that the fragrances make me feel ever since I was a teenager. A lot of things that come in fragrances that, you know, you get that comforting aroma, memories are associated with it. And then down the line, I became very interested in the creations of them, the thought processes into them, the notes. You know, why does, you know, plum go so well with cognac and, you know, cedars and ouds, and it became a whole whirlwind of, you know, me wanting to learn, honestly. And with that tied into me wanting to smell good, you know, that's pretty much my answer. So what's yours? Just curious. If you don't want to answer, you don't have to. But if you have one, I'd like to read it. We'll do some content with it later. Let's get to today's video. YouTube, what's going on YouTube? What is going on? What is happening, man? Of course, you got one more time, DEDRICKHICKSJR, and I'm back with another fragrance video. Smell good, family. Hopefully everyone is doing well, doing great, doing fantastic. Positive energy, positive vibes, positive energy, positive vibes, positive energy, positive vibes. All right, that's what we do right here on this channel, man. So truly, hopefully everyone is doing well and doing great. But today we are back with affordable fragrances, and these fragrances that we are talking about today, they are really good for an affordable price. Now, everything that we're talking about today is around that, I think it's $50 to $60 or below. Now, it just depends on who you are, what your budget is, what you deem to be affordable. I have I have fragrances anywhere from the $20 to $60 range here today, and I get it. And I'm always, you know, having conversations of affordability. Hey, I'm not looking to spend X, Y, and Z. I do want to smell good. Are there some options out there for me to do so? And absolutely they are. They are. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get into it. 5 really great fragrances, especially for the fall time, especially heading into winter time. These 5 could work in really any of those situations with the cooler air. So let's go ahead and tap in. Up first, one of my favorite versions, if not my favorite version of this DNA. This stuff is really good. From the house of Decant, we're talking Barouge Sillage. Barouge Sillage. And this stuff is a beautiful take on Kilian's Angel Share, a fragrance that has been just probably duped or remixed or covered more than Aventus, or probably right up there with the Aventus, but let it be known that this one is spectacular. You get this additions of, I don't know if there's booze in Angel Share or not. I don't have Angel Share, my wife does, but I've smelled it countless times. But I'm not sure if it's a boozy accord in there. I think it is, but it's a boozy one in here, and there's plum in here. It makes the DNA a little bit more darker, a little bit more like dark and fruity. That's what you're getting here. But it has this weird freshness to it. Like this weird freshness to it. It's not weird. I say this because of most of the Angel Share takes that I have smelled, they smell like Angel Share. This one is different. Now, these Barouge lines from Decant, they are on another level. They have a different type of quality to them. I mean, just check out the atomizer. It goes off screen. Pressurized atomizer, and in the air, my God. I mean, you smell the plum right away. Like in the air, I smell the plum, I smell the booze. it's just really, really, really good. So it's a more darker, fruitier take on the DNA, but with this freshness that allows you to wear it. You know, honestly, I'd wear this all year round. Like I probably would consider doing it, but I won't because I have other options. But it's fall, winter, wrapping it back around to spring. This is something that could work. You can find this online between, I think, around that $45 to $50 range. It's really good. Performs really well. Excuse me. Sexy stuff, and it's just an awesome just remix to the original Kilian's Angel Share. So, not trying to talk your head off about it, but I had a lot to say. From the House of Dumont, we're talking about Rouge Sillage. This stuff is really nice, man. Really nice for sure. Up next, you know, this one is just to me, it's one of the when this came out, the conversation and anticipation and request for this particular fragrance to be discussed often was off the charts. From the House of Paris Corner, we're talking Rafael Cott. And Rafael Cott is a really nice take on YSL's Baby Cat. All right, and I'm doing that because my Uncle CJ watching, he know. But this is a take on YSL's Baby Cat. And man, I remember I smelled this before I smelled Baby Cat. So when I did smell Baby Cat for the first time, I was like, okay, this is super close. Now the quality in the Baby Cat is definitely on another level. It is better. And again, like I always say, I would never ever recommend a inspired take over the OG. I just wouldn't do that. But saving some money and smelling great, and you talking about as close can get with how close it is to the original. This warm, spicy vanilla fragrance. And I've had this for, man, I want to say about a year and a half, maybe almost 2 years I've had this. And it's macerated beautifully. Very smooth vanilla. Like I said, you get that bite of that black pepper in there. The saffron, just really blended nicely. This stuff is sexy. It's not that expensive. I think you can get this around $40 or less from I think Aroma Concepts, Amazon, you know, it's being carried everywhere. But if you haven't got your nose on this and you love vanilla, looking for an affordable, really good smelling fragrance that definitely has a sense of quality to it, here you go. From the House of Paris Corner, we're talking Rafael Cott. We're talking Rafael Cott. All right. Up next, I just recently got the OG bottle of this. I wore this 2 times, and I was destined to. I said this stuff is really good, but the original is just unbelievable. I have to get that and add it to my collection, and I did. But I'm still holding on to this one because I'm going to preserve my my OG bottle. But what am I talking about again? From the House of Paris Corner, from the Ministry of Oud line, we have Oud Royale. So Oud Royale is a take on Royal Oud. All right, Royal Oud. And this covers it. Woods, fresh spicy tones. And it's super close. Just, yeah, it's really good. Now this one, it's a bit brighter because the citruses up top in here, I noticed them a little bit more than I do in the original Creed Royal Oud. But this stuff is really, really good. Extract the parfum concentration. You can get a bottle of this for 30 bucks or less. Just depends on where you're looking. You shouldn't pay no more than 40 for this. But if you're looking for a masculine fragrance, something that, you know, just, you know, I can identify a man. You can definitely check out Oud Royale. Again, woods, spices, you know, definitely something that I think when someone smells it, whether it's from the bottle or on you, that it's going to be something that someone says, yeah, this is an intentional situation here with this style of DNA. So this stuff is really, really good. If you don't want to pay the expensive price for Royal Oud, I understand that. It is crazy expensive. I recommend sampling before blind buying, but if you're good on all that and you just want it, you want something that is just as close as it can get and the price is even that much better, here you go. From the house of Paris Corner, from the Ministry of Oud line, we're talking Oud Royale. Oud Royale. Okay? All right, up next, man, honestly, out of everything on this table, this might be my favorite. And I got this last year because I wanted to smell it. And I had heard a lot of great things about it. And boy, when I got this, I wore this quite a bit last fall and last winter. And this is a beautiful inspired take on one of the more popular fragrances and DNAs out there. From the house of Paris Corner, from the Pandora Scents line, we have Charuto's Tobacco Vanille. Man, this stuff is great. This stuff is great. It's a take on Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. You get this. It's so good, man. This wet and sticky tobacco with this vanilla and almost kind of like this, this cherry cola, fizzy type of opening as well. The spices in here really. It's really good. It's really good. And I've gotten a lot of compliments on this, like a lot. And I mean this, like, there's certain fragrances that I've come across from that you know, inspired takes and remixes of that I don't own the OG, and this is one of them. I'm telling y'all, like, I don't know if it's my bottle specifically or there's others out there who feel that way, but that Tobacco Vanille DNA is in trouble with this. This stuff is outstanding. They did a great job on this, man. So the bottle design, I don't, you know, the Charuto and all that, I'm not really, you know, familiar with, you know, anything, but you know, when you come across these Middle Eastern brands, you know, they make the bottles, they, you know, they design them how they design them. And sometimes they're so wild that you just kind of like, okay. And you know, but what's most important is what's inside, right? And that is the juice. And this stuff is stellar. I remember going Christmas shopping last year, and I went to Starbucks. I dropped my son off to school. I went straight to do some holiday shopping, and I stopped by Starbucks, got me a breakfast sandwich and a coffee. And the lady in the drive-thru when I was coming through, she was like, "Whoa, sir, you smell really good. What is that? I have to get that for my husband." And then I told her what it was, and she said it out her mouth. Oh, it doesn't. She pulled out her phone, typed it in, and I was like, "Oh, Amazon has it. Like, it don't cost that much." And I said, "It doesn't. It doesn't." She was like, okay, thank you. Enjoy your day." And then when I looked in my bag, your boy had a blueberry little muffin thing that I didn't ask for. She just had it in the bag when she gave it to me. I ain't gonna blow a spot up and say who she is or where the Starbucks is, but it happened. And just opening up the window, she caught a whiff when I was letting my window down, and that's what it is. But this stuff is a banger. From the house of Paris Corner, from the Charuto, from the Pandora Scents line, we have Charuto's Tobacco Vanille. This will get a lot of wear. You will see this as the weather cools down where I'm at, for sure. And last but not least, man, this was a fantastic gift that I received from my dear friend Miss Heather for my birthday. And this stuff is sexy, man. This is the sexiest, yeah, this is the sexiest fragrances. This in the Barouche sillage. But this stuff is really sexy, man. From the house of Dua, the Dua brand, we have Desire 2. All right, Desire 2. And this is a take on Xerjoff Cruz del Sur number 2. I believe that's what it's called. Now, I've had the pleasure of smelling a sample of that. All right, I got a small carton sample, and it was weird. Right after I got this from Heather, I got a small sample size, like with the order. And I think this is a little hard to find. I think it's maybe the Xerjoff is discontinued. I'm not sure, but I ended up with a sample, and of course, comparing them, really, really good. But what do you get here? You get this exotic, fruity, floral, woodsy style of a scent. I mean, like, sexy was the first word that I said when I smelled this stuff. I think there's some pineapple in here. I think there's some apple in here. You get some white florals in here. You get some woods in here. I just gotta spray it. You know these dual atomizers off screen. golly, it's creamy, a little spice to it, man. And I know the Xerjoff, you know, a lot of you guys probably never heard of it because I didn't hear of it until Heather told me. I had never heard of it until she told me, but she said this is, I think she said this is her favorite from Dua. Like, she has bottles of this and she gifted me one for my birthday, and I definitely appreciate her for that. Heather, if you're watching, thank you again. But this is fantastic stuff. So for the cooler months, you can pay, I think this is 60 bucks. And you know how Duas are. They got the 34 ml, $60, but I do have a code. It's DEDRICKHICKS15. You can save 15% and save you around like 10 bucks or so with this fragrance or anything on Dua. And I know I don't talk about Dua much here. I do have a couple of them, but this one is spectacular. So an affordable price for something that smells really, really good, fruity, warm, woodsy, a little bit of a spice to it. This stuff is really good. To my date night, I can't wait to test it on date night to see what my wife got going on. You know, how she feels about this fragrance, but I think she's gonna love it, you know. So really, really good stuff. I enjoy it a lot. Again, DEDRICKHICKS15. Dedrick Hicks, I think, well, I got it below. Dedrick Hicks or Dedrick Hicks Jr. 15, save you 15%, around 10 bucks off of already affordable fragrance. Don't be alarmed by the smaller bottles. These are extrait de parfum. A couple of sprays will last you 30 days. It's fine. Because I get all the time in my comments, dang, they charging that much for a 40 ml? Relax. You gotta do a little bit of research and understand what extrait de parfum is all about. And you only need a couple of sprays, and a bottle like this is gonna last me the rest of my life probably. Okay, so pipe down for those in the comments who wanna get rowdy about, oh man, it's affordable and it smells awesome. From the house of Dua, we're talking Desire 2. Really beautiful fragrance, man. Beautiful, beautiful stuff, all right? So there you have it. Those are 5 affordable fragrances for the fall. All these are around that $20 to $60 range. And I love all of them. I'm going to be wearing these. I'm not, you know, the Rafael Cott I have, let's see, the Rafael Cott and the Oud Royale I have the OGs of. And even though I have the OGs, I'm still going to be wearing these because they're that good. All right, so save you some money. I will have them linked down below for you to try it. I don't know if there's samples available for all of these, but if they are, it will be in the description. But they are affordable, all right? So in between that $20 to $60 range, check them out. Some of my personal favorites. I've downsized my collection of a lot in the past few months, but it's certain ones that I've kept, and these ain't going nowhere. All right, so hopefully y'all enjoyed today's video. If you have these or have an experience with them, let me know what you're thinking, what your thoughts are, how you feel about them. And if you do jump in and say you want to give them a try and get you a bottle or a sample, let me know what you think. I always love to hear those comments and love to read those comments and see what y'all got going on. All right, so definitely appreciate y'all once again for watching. Thank y'all for all the love and support. Smell Good family, it's always love. And we'll see y'all on the next one. Of course, splack it up, splack it down, splack that thing all around. And remember, it's positive energy and it's positive vibes. And remember, what you put out into this world, that's exactly what you are going to get back. That's for sure, man. Peace, y'all. Splack it.